objective, that's on letter coding. Here goes our first question. I want all of you to focus into it and try to give the answer. Okay, let's see what's written here. It says that in each of the following questions, find the correct answer from the given alternatives. If employees can be coded as this, okay, then what is furniture coded as? All right. So with respect to this, let me quickly put down the options and we would be working on it. Let's start working on it. Let's see what is employees. So let me write it down in this way. EMPLOYEES. Okay, this is employees and we are going to look into the coded version of this. So E is coded as D, M is coded as L, and then we have P, which is being coded as O again, and then we have L, which is being coded as K. We have O, which is being coded as O alone, right? So no change. Coming to Y, Y is being coded as X. Again, E is being coded as D, and again E is also being coded as D here, and S is being coded as R. Now let's look into the pattern, what is being followed here. If you will notice, D is just the letter before E. So I could say this is -1, E -1. M. So again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Okay. So L is again one letter before M. Coming to P and O. So this is again one letter before P. So again, so what we see here is that we have all letters before the letters that's given to us, right? Coming to the letter that's exactly in between the word. So if you see O is exactly the mid letter, there is no change in the letter and it is coded as the same thing. Okay. Now coming to Y. So X, so we know that before Y we have X, before E we have D. So the pattern that we are following here has to be a -1. I hope that is clear. Now what is furniture coded as? All right. So now we need to check what would furniture be coded as. So let me quickly write down furniture. Actually, we don't have to write it down in this way. Now the pattern was that except for the mid letter, all the other letters has to be reduced by one position, right? So if you see F, the letter before F is E. The letter before U is, yes, T. And first of all, let's just mark away the letter which is exactly in between. We know that I is exactly in between. So this is going to remain as I itself. Okay, do not get confused. R, Q, M, and then we have S, and then we have T again. We have Q and we have D. So ultimately the coded version of this is E, T, Q, M, I, S, T, Q, D, and out of option A, B, C, D, we see that option C is the right answer for this. Okay. Well, there is also a short trick to this. The short trick which I could say you is one thing. Okay. So please listen to the short trick on how would you save your time. Okay. Now, looking into the logic, you already know that the mid letter will not change. So all you have to do is first look into the mid value, which is I. Out of the given options A, B, C, and D, check which option has I in between. And I see that it is option C and option D. So definitely option A and option B cannot be my answer. So it's either of option C and option D. So now what we are going to do is you could either check the first letter or last letter, whatever you wish to. If you see a first letter F should be coded as E. And out of option C and D, only C has the first letter as E. So definitely C is going to be the answer. It cannot be D because D has G as the first letter, which is not possible. I hope you're understanding the tricks, right? We don't even have to sit and calculate the whole thing or look into the pattern for the whole thing. The only effort you have to put into is this pattern, okay? Once you've understood the pattern, for this you can just use the elimination of option method. Okay, I hope both the concept along with the short trick was clear to all of you. With this, we are going to go ahead with our second question. Here goes our second question. So the same thing, you have to detect the rule. Goodness is written as so on. Then greatness will be written as what? Okay. So all of you, please give it a try. And as I mentioned in my previous question itself, that you need to figure out the pattern for the given example, and then accordingly you could apply it on the actual question asked by just eliminating the options. Okay, so we'll try doing that this time. So here goes your options. Yeah, so now let's start working on it. So if you see goodness, so let me write it down. Goodness. Okay, and let me write down the coding. So G is coded as H, O is coded as N, and then we have O is coded as P, and then D is coded as C, and N is coded as O again. E is coded as D, S is coded as T, and S is coded as R. What exactly is happening? One thing which you must have noticed, and it's very obvious, that same letters are having different code words. Why is that so? Let's try to figure out the pattern here. So G, H, so we know that it is a +1. So we know that H occurs after G. O, N. So according to the letter series, so it is M, N, O, P. So M, N, O, P. That means N is before O, as in it is -1. Okay, N is occurring one letter before O. And what is happening to this? After O, we have P. So one letter after O. What's happening to D? We have -1 because C occurs before D. One thing which I could notice is everything which is happening here is either a +1, -1 on alternate positions, right? So now I'm very sure the next one has to be a +1, and then we have a -1, +1, and -1. Once you have understood this, this is going to be very, very simple, okay? So all you have to do is now look into the first letter and the last letter, okay? Trust me, the first and last letter helps you a lot. This time we are not going to look into the mid-letter hint because there is no such mid-letter hint like we had in the last question. So what we can do is, let's see, this is going to start with a +1. So +1 as in GH. So you could see that out of A, B, C, D, of course A is going to be the answer. But still, let's say that you would have had more than one options with starting with H, then what to do? Then you could have eliminated all the other options. And going with the last letter, so let's see, this is going to be a +1, -1, +1, -1, +1, -1, +1, -1, +1. So please count it. Do not assume that since this also had a -1, this also will have a -1. No. It depends on how many letters do you have in the word, okay? So this is going to be +1, which is going to be a T, okay? So please do not make a mistake here. Do not follow the way it was done in this. For this, according to the number of letters, we were ending up at -1 because at alternate positions, we are counting +1 and -1. But when we counted it for greatness, at the last letter S, we had a +1. So obviously, option A has starting H and ending with T, so it's going to be the answer. You don't even have to go ahead and check with the letters which are in between. I hope the trick was clear to all of you. Please do click on the like button if you are understanding the session well and if you are enjoying the session, and do recommend it to your friends. With this, we would be proceeding with our next question on number or symbol coding. So here's the question, guys. If book is coded as 43 and pen is coded as 35, then copy is coded as what? Let's see who gives the answer. Please do respond on the comment section. I would be happy if you are also giving your approach on how are you getting the answers. That would be really, really good. I would be clear enough that what methods or tricks are you guys using. Alright, so let's check out here. Here goes your options. So think about it. What could be done? How do you exactly relate letters to numbers? That's one of the major things which you have to think about here. Okay? How do you relate letters to numbers here? Alright, so let's check out here. If book is coded as 43. So for this, I would actually give you something which would be very helpful. That is the respective numbering of the letters. This is going to be very helpful for such kind of questions. Now let's see how is this helping us. So book, if you see the letters book, the respective numberings of the letter book is, the word book is, so for B we have a 2, for O we have 15, and for O we again have a 15, and for K what do we have? For K we have an 11, okay? So if you add all these, 15 plus 15 is 30, and then you have 40, 41, and then you have 43. So that means when you're adding all of these, 2 plus 15 plus 15 plus 11, it's giving you 43. So one pattern that we have noticed from here is it's the addition of their respective numberings. Why don't we even go ahead and check for pen if the same thing is happening? So for pen, if you notice, for P we have, let's see, we have a 16. For E we have 5. And for N, what do we have? For N we have 14. So now when we add up all these three, we know that take 15 plus 15, which is 30, okay? And 1 added here, 1 subtracted here, which is 29, and 1 added here, which is again 30, okay? And plus 5 is 35. So that means our logic is correct. All we have to do is write the respective numberings of these letters and we have to add them up, okay? As simple as that. So COPY, if you all want to take a screenshot of this, please do take it up because this is going to be helpful as well, okay? All right, so let's look into the numberings. So C is nothing but 3, O is 15, P is 16, and Y is, what's Y? Y is 25. Now, when we add up all these, we know that 15 plus 16 is going to give us a 31. 31 and 25 is going to give us 56, and 56 plus 3 is going to give us a 59. And hence, option B, 59 is the right answer. A big round of applause to all the students and learners who have got the right answer to this without the explanation heard from me, okay? So I would say that you guys are at a very good stage wherein you were able to relate your letters to numbers. Amazing. Awesome. All right. So with this, let's focus into our next question. Here's our next question. Let's see. You have to focus into the sentences and statements given in this question because they have important details. Let's see here. If men are very busy is coded as 1, 2, 3, 4. Busy persons need encouragement is coded as 4, 5, 6, 7. Encouragement is very important is coded as 3, 5, 8, 9. Then how will we code encouragement alone? So you have to find the coding of encouragement word alone, okay, by using the help of these three statements, okay? For everybody who were already able to identify, very good. Here goes the options. You all could match up with it and give your answers on the comment section. Okay, so with this, let's first see. Men are very busy. For such questions, take two sentences at once and compare which is the common word between them and accordingly which is the common number between them. Okay, so if you see, men are very busy. Busy persons need encouragement. So we have busy is something which is common in both the statement, busy and busy. So according to the coding of these two, do you see that if there's any number in common to them? I see that there's a 4 here as well. There's a 4 here as well. So one thing which we are very sure about, that busy is coded as 4 because that only could be possible. All the other numbers denote to the other words which are actually not common in both the statements. Okay. Now coming to the second and the third statement. Now look into the second and the third statement carefully. So if you see, the second statement is busy persons need encouragement. Encouragement is very important. So what we have here is, we have encouragement to be common here. One is encouragement here and the other one encouragement here. Now let's see, now forget about 4. 4 is not into consideration. So out of 5, 6, 7 and here out of 5, 8, 9, you see that the common number that is repeating is 5. So it's very obvious that encouragement is the common word between the two statements. 5 is the common number between the two codings. So definitely the common word will have encouragement will be coded as 5. That's it. This is the best way to work on such questions. Take two statements at once, compare the word that is common in them, compare the number which is common in them, and that's it. You get the respective code word to it. Okay. I hope all of you did enjoy the question. With this, we are going to go ahead.
Divisibility 2, 3, 5, 9 and then 10. So continuously one by one we have to see the divisibility rule for 2, 3, 5, 9 and 10. First divisibility rule, we have to see divisibility by 2. So what is the rule for divisibility by 2? A number ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. A number ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. That number divisible by 2. A number ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. That number divisible by 2. For example, I take 150. Here the number ends with 0. In this condition, 0 is there. A number ends with the unit digit of the number is 0. So, in the solution, we have to write 150. So, here what is the unit digit? Unit digit of 150 is 0. Unit digit of 150 is 0. Therefore, 150 is divisible by 2. So already you know that the condition a number ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. A number ends with the unit digit of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. The unit digit of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. That number divisible by 2. Here the 150 is divisible by 0. Because of that, unit digit of 150 is 0. Therefore, 150 is divisible by 2. Now we have to see the divisibility by 5. So here the student I confirmed you divisibility by 2, divisibility by 5, divisibility by 10. These three are in the same condition. We have to check the unit digit. So because of that, you have to compare divisibility 2, divisibility 5, divisibility 10. And divisibility 3 and 9 are in the same method. So next I will to explain about divisibility by 5. Here a number ends with 0 or 5. A number ends with 0 or 5. So that number divisible by 5. A number ends with 0 or 5. That means the unit digit of a number is 0 or 5. Either 0 or 5. Because any one of the digit is present in a unit digit. For an example, already we mentioned 150. Here the unit digit is 0. It divisible by 5. And then 265. This one also divisible by 5. Just you have to check it. Here 265 I told divisibility by 5. So 5 5s are 25. Remaining 1 15. 3 5s are 15. So remainder 0. Now you agree with this. A number ends with 0 or 5. That number divisible by 5. So I have to show the another example. So here you have to verify it. 153, 265 and then 270, 183 and then 172. So I take 5 numbers. Here what are the number divisible by 5? Here the first number, the unit digit of this number is 3. So what is the condition? It may be 0 or 5. That is the condition. So here 3. So this one is not divisible by 5. And then here the number unit digit is ends with 5. So this is divisible by 5. Here a number ends with 0. Unit digit is 0. So this is divisible by 5. The unit digit of 183 is 3. So it is not divisible by 5. The unit digit of 172 is 2. It is 0 or 5. So because of that, this one is also not divisible by 5. So clearly the number ends with 0 or 5. That number divisible by 5. So now we see children divisibility by 10. So already we have to learn about divisibility 5 and divisibility 2. So now we move on to divisibility by 10. So here also we take it as the unit digit. A number ends with only 0. A number ends with only 0. That number divisible by 10. So for an example, I will take the same 150. So here the number ends with a 0. So I check it in a solution. Here this 150 is divisible by 10. So here I have to check the unit digit. Unit digit of 150 is 0. Therefore 150 is divisible by 10. So just you check it. Yeah, 150 can be divisible by 10. 1 tens are 10, 10 tens are 100, 11 tens are 110, 15 tens are 150. The remainder become 0. So it's clearly you know that divisibility 10 is a number ends with, that is unit digit of a number is 0. That number is divisible by 10. So here you conclude a divisibility. We see that divisibility 2, 5, 10. So I conclude this three number. So the 2 in the sense unit digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. 5 only 0 and 5. And then 10 it only ends with the 0. So 0 is the common for this 3 divisibility rule. So any number, a number ends with the 0, that number compulsory divisible by 2, 5 and 10. So for the great example 150. 150 is ends with the 0, it divisible by 2 and divisible by 5 and divisibility by 10. So next we move on to divisibility rule 3. So now we see divisibility by 3, the rule of divisibility rule 3. So divisibility by 3. So what is the rule for divisibility? Sum of the digit is divisible by 3. The whole number is divisible by 3. So sum of the digit is divisible by 3. Whole number is divisible by 3. So I show by an example. So here I give two sums. One is 153 and another one is 164. So two number is there. So first I have to check the first question, the solution. So what is the rule? Sum of the digit is divisible by 3. The whole number is divisible by 3. So 153 we have to add 1 plus 5 plus 3. So 1 plus 5 6, 6 plus 3 9. Therefore 9 is divisible by 3. Therefore 153 is also divisible by 3. The same way I have to check the second question. 164. Solution. 164 equal to 1 plus 6 plus 4. So 1 plus 6 7 plus 4 11. So 11 is not divisible by 3. So 11 is not divisible by not divisible by 3. Therefore 164 is not divisible by 3. So now we see divisibility rule 9. Divisibility by 9. The same condition for 3, we have to follow this 9 also. Sum of the digits is divisible by 9. The whole number is divisible by 9. Whole number is divisible by 9. How to take a 2 example? The first question, 165. I will check. Solution. 165, which is equal to 1 plus 6 plus 5. So 1 plus 6, 7, 7 plus 5, 12. So you see this 1 9 is 9, 2 9s are 18. So 12 is not divisible by 5. So 12 is not divisible by 9. Therefore 165 is also not divisible by 9. So next I have to check another example. Three, 153. So the solution, 153, 1 plus 5 plus 3. So which is equal to 9. So 9 is divisible by 9. You know that. So 9 is divisible by 9. Therefore 153 is divisible by 9. Okay student, today we have to see about the divisibility rule. Divisibility by 2, 5, 10 and then 3 and 9. So 2, 5, 10 are same method. 3 and 9 are in 2 are in a same method. So next class we discuss about the examples. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our channel. இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. மறக்காம இந்த சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணிட்டு பக்கத்துல இருக்கக்கூடிய பெல் பட்டனை ட்ரைன் தட்டுங்க. பை.